We're at the Rock and Roll Trail at Carvins Cove Natural Reserve near Roanoke, Virginia. And we're building a flow trail that is 7 miles long when it's done, and it'll be one of the longest in the world. The flow trail is like a roller coaster. It has bank turns, it has undulations, it allows the users to maintain their speed and go through turns, and it's built in a way that it doesn't, as you go through a turn, it doesn't tear up the trail because you got a bank turn there. It keeps the water flows where you want it to. This reserve is 12,000 acres, and it has 50 miles of trail and growing. We brought in clay because the way it packs really well, and the water sheds off of the top, and it turns into kind of like concrete hardness. Underneath the clay is a bunch of smashed rocks, and that allows drainage underneath the trail. A few of these rocks were here, and we utilized them, incorporated them. We had to adjust them a little bit to make them fit right. And then most of them we brought in. There's 6 pieces that each weigh a ton. And we harvest those from just about 200 foot down the trail, and we had to roll them on logs to get them over here. And then when we got them over here, we used hydraulic jacks to lift them up a little bit at a time. The jacks have about a 4-inch travel. So we lift one in, put rocks underneath, and lift the other in, put rocks underneath. And then we'd put rocks underneath the jack and lift them a little bit more. And just over time, we got, it took a long time, we got them into place. When we move all this dirt, we disturb a lot of land around the trail, and we have to naturalize that. After it's done, that takes a lot of work. When we're done with a section of trail, it looks like we haven't, it looks like it's been there for a long time. Thanks to Dick.
My job on the Rock and Roll Flow Trail is naturalizing. Naturalizing is the last step of the trail building process. The naturalizer, he tries to make the trail look as if it's always been here. One of my favorite tools for naturalizing is this stuff here. It's called, I think the technical term for it is duff. We call it organic stuff, but we use this duff to control erosion for the most part, but it does other things. I'm sitting in a pile of duff right here. It's already been put down to naturalize the back of this berm. The duff will keep the berm from washing away. And if we have really good rain this fall, maybe next spring, this stuff will start to root. And in a year from now, it will green up and look nice and green all the way through here.
You can see back behind me, you can see where there's holes or slots down the rock. That's where we actually drilled into the rock. And then we put these metal wedges in. They have 2 feathers and a wedge in the middle, and as you hammer it down, it pushes the sides out. And you do it a little bit at a time, and it starts cracking the rock, and eventually it cracks straight through, and that's how we make those straight edges. So this elevated section of trail from that in here to here is about 25 tons of rock that we moved into place. Some of these rocks we moved from several hundred feet away up to all the way around the other side there. It was probably about 300-foot move. We would cut the rocks to shape, and then we would use come-alongs and pull them across logs. So the logs would be like rollers. And we get them over here into place, and then some of them we had to jack up to make the bridge. Other ones we use pry bars, and we use smash rocks underneath them to position them and to get the right height on them, to move them up next to the previous rock. And we kept having to adjust the rocks and jack them up, put rocks underneath to get the layout right, to get the elevations right on the different rocks. So there's a lot of manipulation to get the rocks into alignment like that.
I love working out here. The idea that I'm able to do something that people will still be enjoying 100 or 150 years from now, I get a kick out of that. I love that.
I do it because, well, I like trails. I like using them. I love mountain biking. I like hiking. I like to have more trails to use, and so I want to do my part to help improve the number of trails and the quality of trails that we have in this area where I intend to live the rest of my life. And so I want to make it better, and it's fun to do, so I enjoy doing it.